Hello everybody, I'm Bruce Garner, the county agent in Morehouse and West Carroll Parish. I'm working this year on a rice best management practice program. We're looking at water utilization, nitrogen utilization, and herbicides in row rice and the importance of it. To go in depth, too in depth for a video, but let's just talk real briefly what we need to do to get where we're at here. We got to start cleaning the field. How are we planting? This year we have used a crimper roller to roll a V groove down. We've planted flat and then took a groover and rolled to give our water a path down the field. In the heavier soils, it seems to have worked fairly well. The V's held up, so it's interesting moving forward as we look at this more and more. This planting technology, I think that's going to be a valuable tool for us to have. Water management, just like the name infers, furrow irrigation. We're laying the poly pipe out at the head end of the field, poking our holes in it, and pushing water down the field. In this field, we're not holding water. Some people like to hold water. Well, when you start holding water, we end up with 3 different zones in the field. A held water situation at the bottom, an intermediate water in the middle, and then a true alternate drying and wetting up toward the top. What we're trying to look at is that true alternate drying and wetting all the way across the field. That's an important part that we're looking at there. Nitrogen application. It's become very evident as we move through this project that the split applications of nitrogen is very, very important. And the timing of this lines up with your timing of your watering. So, are we looking at a split of 3 splits, 4 splits, 2 splits? When is our water going on? That's some of the things we're looking at. Definitely we can say a 3-way split works very well. It fits in with our management practices and it fits in with our watering schedule. Weed management. We started out as clean as we could in this field. We made timely applications on the front end, and it's really a foot race with the weeds to get the canopy to close. In varieties that are a little bit shorter and a little bit slower, you've got to have some residuals out there that's going to carry you through to that canopy closure. And some of our varieties that we've seen in the variety trial where they jumped out really good and canopied out real quick, very good weed control. And some of our varieties where they were a little bit slower, we're seeing some escapes and seeing some grasses coming in. We're looking at our seeding rate study. It becomes critical that we have overlapping residuals that hold until those plants can tiller and that canopy can start closing. One of the questions we had this past growing season was from a producer about nematodes in rice. And the prevalent theory is that nematodes don't affect rice. That seems to be holding true. But what about as we plant row rice in lighter grounds, which we're doing, and we're following that rice with soybeans the following year? What are we doing there for that nematode population in the field? The studies we're looking at this year is we've taken some soil samples for nematodes prior to planting, mid-season, and then after harvest. And what we're wanting to see is if the nematode numbers go up, go down, stay the same, planning for that next year's soybean crop. Thinking is that historically that the flood on the rice has kept the numbers static. But as we move into that alternate drying and wetting, are we going to see changes in our nematode numbers? That's going to be what we're looking at now. We're hoping to have some data this fall after harvest about what our nematode numbers did and what we should be doing, looking at for our following soybean crop.